Hello friends, welcome to this particular video on NISM series 23. Let me tell you that NISM series 23 has been recently started by NISM. This particular module is related to certification in the area of social audit. So we can call it a social auditors certification module. As many of you know that recently National Stock Exchange has been given license to act as a social stock exchange. While that is one initiative, there are various other initiatives that have been taken over a period of last uh, 10 years, I would say. Many of you would be aware that United Nations uh, came out with a sustainability agenda, and that agenda has focused on 17 key areas of sustainability. Government of India has also taken various initiatives for social welfare, and uh, those initiatives are aimed at targeting the deprived section of the society. Some of you would also know that we have something called as corporate social responsibility, under which companies spend an X percentage of their profit on various social initiatives. Now, this particular module, which is related to social auditors, covers some of the very interesting areas. So let me tell you that as far as the syllabus of this particular module is concerned, it has 11 chapters in all, out of which I would say that chapter 1 partially which is related to Indian financial market, that has already been covered in other modules also. Introduction to trading, clearing, settlement and risk management, which is chapter 2, that also kind of is repeated in this particular module because that's common to the social stock exchange also. Chapter 10 and 11, which is related to taxation and key regulations, also have many common aspects related to other certifications of NISM. But chapter 3 to chapter 9 has various new aspects that you need to actually learn. And as you can see here, it covers social stock exchange. It is related to registration and listing of social stock exchange, what is social audit, what is social impact assessment. So various areas related to the role of social auditor has been covered here. Now, taking you further from here, let me tell you that like most of NISM module, here also you have an assessment which has two segments. One is MCQ and second is case-based questions. So case-based questions are also MCQs, but they have a case that you have to study and then you have to answer those questions. In all, 100 marks, and you have to attempt 100 questions in all. What I have done in this particular uh, video is that I have prepared 15 questions related to chapter 1 of the module that will give you an idea about what kind of questions can be asked in this module. Well, I'm not claiming that exactly such questions would only be asked, but they are based on the chapter 1 coverage related to the social impact and the social initiatives that have been taken over a period of time. So let me take you through those questions one by one. I'm sure that would create some kind of an interest in you for this particular module. So the first question that I have, which is very straightforward, and it's more of an information based question, which is asking, in which of the following year was 2030 agenda for sustainable development adopted by member states of United Nations? So sustainable development has been the focus during recent years, as I have already said in my video. So basically in 2015, this was something which was started. So answer for this question becomes C. Let me take you to the question 2, which is about how many goals of sustainable development have been identified by United Nations. So United Nations has identified not 1, not 2, not 3, not 5, not 10, not 15. Rather, it has identified total 17 sustainable development goals, and it expects member nations to act on those goals. As I have already mentioned, these goals are focused on nature, these goals are focused on climate, poverty alleviation, education, all those areas are covered as part of this particular goal. What should be the percentage of CSR spending out of total net profit of a company? So this is a completely Indian context question. Government of India has put a regulation around how much should be spent on CSR, which is corporate social responsibility, and there's no surprise here. The answer is A, which is 2%. Now let me move on quickly to quiz 4, which is trying to assess your understanding of a concept, and you can see a fill in the blank which is there, and then there's a statement which is mentioned can be identified as the effect on people and communities that happens as a result of an action or inaction, an activity, project, program, uh, or policy. Now you have four options: social commitment, social intervention, corporate social responsibility, and social impact. Needless to say, the answer for this is A. So we have completed four questions, and I'm sure by now you are getting some understanding of what this module is all about. Let me take you to question number 5, which is slightly analytical and not just information based. It is asking which of the following is not the feature of social enterprise. So typically social enterprise have various features. As you can see here, some of the features are very clearly mentioned. Like option A, main aim of social enterprise is a social or environment cause. That is very obvious. But which one of the four is not the answer here? It is revenue generated is distributed to the shareholders, which is option C. So why option C is not the right answer? Because when the revenue is generated by social enterprises, it is spent for social cause. That is the reason this is not the answer. Now we move on to again one information based question, which is slightly tricky, which is which of the following cannot be the legal form of a social organization in Indian setup. So in Indian setup, if you are creating a social organization in a legal structure, you can make it like a trust, you can make it like society, a company created under Section 8 of Companies Act, but you cannot have it in partnership form structure. So the answer is D. Well, I will move on to next question, which is which of the following is not the method of social intervention? How you cannot carry out a social intervention? And we know that this module is about social auditors, so social intervention, social impact, social initiatives, all those are part of the overall coverage of the material. So the answer for this becomes risk management, because care management, narrative social work, all those are obviously part of social intervention. Risk management is a completely separate domain. Question number 8 is asking you to throw light on a particular concept, and it is like it is like asking you to understand all those four aspects and then identify what best describes the statement. So which of the following term best describes networks together with shared norm, values, and understanding that facilitate cooperation within or amongst the group? So it's very easy. It is social capital. So the answer would be A. The next part is which of the following is not right category of social intervention. So social intervention can be done in various forms. We all know that. Okay. So obviously social participation is not a form of social intervention. It is social welfare, social net, and social safety net, and social protection. Let us move on to question number 10, which has a very interesting definition: meeting the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own need. This particular statement, which is wonderfully kind of crafted, created, this describes what is called as sustainability. This is the appropriate definition of sustainability. So the answer would be A here. We move on to the next statement. Which of the following methods of social intervention looks at collaborative practice, understanding strengths of beneficiary or resources available in that region, and focuses on specific social problems that needs to be resolved? Now, answer for this particular question is strength-based and solution-based approaches. Case management, group work, narrative social work, they are not covered under this particular initiative. We move on to question 12, which is about the fact that social interventions are funder driven, okay, and lack proper vision and strategies to make it a long-term and sustainable effort. Describes which of the following risks associated with the social sector enterprise. So social sector enterprises have their own set of risks. Here, the risk that we are referring to is basically the strategic risk. So if you have strategic risk, you lack the proper vision and strategies to make it long-term and sustainable, then it would be strategic risk. We move on to question number 13. How many minimum trustees should be part of a trust in India? And this is more of an information-based question. So the answer is 2, which is A. Which of the following is not part of United Nations Sustainable Development Goal? I have been speaking about it, but here you can see that there are various goals, but financial inclusion is not part of that goal. So answer is D. And finally, which of the following is defined as any group or individuals who can affect or is affected by achievement of organization's objective? It is fairly simple to answer this. The answer is A. So with this, I have completed all the 15 questions. Let me tell you that this particular question was related to the latest social auditor module of NISM. You can write to me on healthofmywealth@gmail.com. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.